Are men trash or are you just attracting trash men? Listen, Batty, are there trash men in this world? Absolutely. Are there trash women? Are there trash people in this world? Absolutely. But my question is, why do you keep picking up the trash? I just want you to ask yourself what you actually think you're worth. Do you think you are worth premium quality? Do you think you are worth a man that treats you with the utmost respect? Like, truly, I know on a rational level, you'll just be saying yes to all of these questions, but on a spiritual, just really deep soul level, do you think you are worth the best quality partner? Ask yourself that. What's up, baddies? This is the Arab and Thriving Show, and I'm your host, Rima. Today, we're going to talk about why you keep attracting trash partners into your life. One of the things that we've seen all over social media, it's kind of become this accepted truth that men are trash. And every time I see it, I get annoyed. Like, it kind of stabs me. It's not stabbing me because I feel the need to protect the trash men who are out there. It's stabbing me because it's like, dang, I already know that if you're telling yourself that, and if that's what's going on in your head over and over and over and over, I understand the power of the words that we use and the thoughts that we have. If you truly believe that to be the case, A, you are going to continue to attract trash men, and B, you are going to see potentially good men as trash and maybe participate in certain behaviors or dynamics that bring out the trash in that person too, or chase them away so that you don't think there's anything but trash left behind. I'm someone who has also kind of been through my fair share of men who I wouldn't say are the highest quality of men. I was in a toxic slash emotionally abusive relationship for over 4 years. I still won't refer to that person as trash, but there's so much more power for us to hold ourselves accountable to why we're even settling for that type of treatment to begin with. Chances are you are attracting or you are kind of coming across what you actually believe you deserve. Of course, you're going to come across people who aren't who they say that they are. The question is, and you have to be very honest with yourself, the second you notice that this person has trashy tendencies, do you stop talking to them? Or do you kind of keep seeing where it goes? The reason I think a lot of awesome women end up going through their fair share of trash men before they can find that person is because a lot of you will stay in something knowing it is not what you want. You truly don't think you deserve better. You truly believe that being in a relationship where you are not treated the way that you deserve to be treated is better than being single. And that's how you really know. That's how you know. If you have a problem being single, if you have a problem being single and waiting until you actually find someone who isn't quote unquote trash, then you know that you don't actually think you deserve that, because the woman or the person who knows that they deserve the highest quality relationship is someone who is willing to wait, is someone who would rather spend time with themselves than spend time with somebody who doesn't respect her the way that you would like to be respected. A worthy partner is one that is worth the wait. You also have to believe that the wait is worth it and you are more than worthy of that time being spent intentionally. Stop accepting free meals from anyone in return for your time. I don't know about you, but in college and even when I was in my early 20s, a lot of my friends would be like, "Oh, well, it's a free meal, so whatever." You have to believe that you are worth way more. I do not care how much this free meal. If this is a person whose value in your life can be boiled down to what they give you transactionally, you have to believe that your time is worth more than some sort of transaction like that. There's so many things that are also being exchanged during that time where you sit down for a quote unquote free meal. It's never free. You are exchanging energy with that person. You are allowing this person into your space. You are affiliating with that person. You are giving that person your time and your energy. Those are two of the resources that I think are the most valuable, especially your energy. You have to believe you're worth more than just exchanging free meals or exchanging FaceTime conversations with someone just to pass the time. Your time is worth something. Your energy is worth something. If you are someone who doesn't want to be in trash relationships, you need to stop transacting in a way that signals that your time and your energy and your likeness are also trash. and are a commodity. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Believe them the first time. If you can't believe them the first time, okay, fine. Believe them like the first and a half time, because don't even let it get to the second time. There's going to be red flags in between the first time and the second time they do something stupid that lets you know there's going to be a second time. Okay, so if you can't believe them the first time, they're on some BS. Do your best to believe them before it gets to the second time, and cut that person off. If you need help on how to cut people off, I have a video about that too. I'm going to tell you a story from my own life, because I have definitely had my track record of entertaining lower quality men before I landed on my amazing Ahmed. I'm walking out of the store in the mall, feeling myself. I'm single. I'm living my best life, all the self-love vibes. And I was getting ready to go on a trip to Florida. And I run into somebody from my past who I have not seen this person in literally 10 years. And we just talked, we still had each other's information. We start like catching up. Now, when I knew this person way back when, we were not compatible then. This person was living a very different lifestyle as far as priorities than I was. I was starting college, kind of like starting off with my academic and professional career. And this person didn't graduate high school, and, you know, no shade, just completely different people, right? I really do believe in giving people a chance and just not freezing people in time. So when I met this person again a decade later, I was just willing to kind of have sort of a blank slate and figure out who they were again. Now, what I didn't know was that this person was also creating this illusion around who they were 10 years later. So here you have the unassuming, trying to give the benefit of the doubt girl with the low-key, deceitful, I'm going to paint this narrative that I know you want to hear guy. Not a great match. Anyway, talking to this person, still feeling in my gut and in my heart this like feeling of butterflies that are not butterflies. And I don't know if you've heard the saying that butterflies are low-key your anxiety just telling you like, don't pass go, don't collect $200, calm down. That's kind of what I was feeling of like, ooh, you're going to talk to this person. Like, oh my God, you shouldn't tell your friends because they probably will tell you not to talk to this person. But like, let's figure it out. We made a plan to get together when I came back. Me being someone who is just already paranoid and cautious about, again, my energy, like I was at a point where I was a lot more intentional about who I spent my energy with. I think it helped that I had already known him. It's not like I'm meeting a random guy on the street, but still the person that I knew back then was not someone I would really be exchanging a dinner with. So I'm like, well, I go to the gym every day. Let's just meet up at the gym. That was my way of screen interviewing him at the gym and having that interaction first, where I drive in my own car, he drives in his own car. I don't feel like we're sharing that space, that energy, and it's not like a date. And we were supposed to go to the gym, I think like on a Friday or something. And we were texting, even FaceTiming up until like the day before, right? So the day before, I'm starting to feel a little uneasy. I'm like, is it just my nerves? I'm going to see him. He's cute. Like I have to run into him at the gym. Like, well, what's going to happen? Or like, is my body trying to tell me that this is not the right thing to do? Is my body trying to tell me to stop? Now, at this point in life, I would often talk to God and just straight up ask. And literally that night in the shower, I was showering and like going to my friend's house. I said out loud to God, like, God, obviously, you know, I really want to go see this guy tomorrow. Obviously, I'm excited about it. If this is the wrong thing for me, you know, you need to make this extremely obvious to stop me. Like, do whatever you need to do. I literally don't care what you do. Do whatever you need to do to cut this. Like, do not let this happen if this is not what's best for me. I've been on this path. I've been focused on myself. I've been healthy. I've been like listening to you, God. And so just if this is a detour, just move it out of my way. That's literally how straight up I got, right? So anyway, I go to my friend's house, you know, hanging out. Then that night I'm driving home a couple hours after I just basically begged God to just show me a sign or do whatever he needed to do. Whenever I get signs, whenever I get very clear signs, and I have a bunch of stories like this that hopefully I'll tell you all on here, they're in the form of an animal, like a very random animal. And I'm not telling you like, oh, I saw like a bird in the sky. And when I looked it up on Google, it said that like a flying bird means freedom and liberation. Like, no, I'm not talking about someone's freaking dog that they were walking. I'm talking about a random animal I probably hadn't seen in years, right? So I'm driving home and I'm about to turn onto my street. And I see this thing that was in the street. It was kind of dark, so I didn't really know what was happening. So I kind of like swerved out of the way to not run it over because I still wasn't sure what it was. And as I swerved, I realized it was this like ugly, disgusting possum, like the huge rat looking thing. And I, at the time, hadn't seen any possums at all in my area. So I'm like, what the hell? Ew. So my first reaction was ew. And then as soon as I turned onto my street, I pulled up to someone else's driveway on the street because I'm like, oh no, this cannot wait. Because it had just dawned on me that God might be sending me a sign. So I pulled up into someone else's driveway, looked it up on my phone really fast. And I swear, when I looked it up on Google, the first thing that popped up was an opossum symbolizes a deceptive, trickerish behavior, someone who may be putting on an act to create an illusion around who they are. Like my mouth literally dropped because I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to hang out with dude tomorrow. God literally just sent me this sign in the form of a possum that I had to swerve out of its way. Like, think about all of that symbolism all in one. Mind you, had this been maybe the first animal symbol that I've gotten from God that was crazy, I would have maybe been a little more skeptical about whether I was overanalyzing, but God consistently comes through with the craziest animal symbols that are supposed to tell me exactly what I need to hear at that point. So the message was received, guys. Like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, I can't go tomorrow. Like, I don't know how I'm going to tell him that I can't go. Like, I just don't think I can go tomorrow. Guys, the next day comes around, right around the time we're supposed to meet up. Right around the time we're supposed to meet up. And I call him to tell him that I'm not coming. And he doesn't answer. And I have not spoken to him since. I cannot make this up. I have no shame around being ghosted. This was the only time I've ever been ghosted. And it could not be more funny because it was literally God moving him out of my way. Like I literally had showered and prayed and said, please just do whatever you need to do. And if the possum symbol was not enough, God straight up removed this person from my whole life. I don't even know where he is right now. Like I don't know anything. I haven't talked to him, I haven't seen him, haven't anything. Like I haven't inquired because I'm like, at this point, let me really just thank God for what he did for me. Come to find out through like people talking and whatever, that he was still involved with a lot of the really bad things that he was involved with way before. And it would have been terrible had I continued to talk to him. It would have taken me way far off of where I was trying to go and where I am now. So alhamdulillah, we're very grateful for that. But I think the lesson to be learned was that he was kind of showing hints of who he was. It didn't quite like smack me in the face yet until I asked God, but I didn't want to believe it, right? I was like willing to go against what my intuition knew to be true. Do you not think you're worth this amazing man that you're trying to believe something that you know in your heart is an illusion because you just want someone around? Now, this whole idea of believing someone when they show you who they are also goes for when someone is a great person. If you are somebody who thinks that men are trash, it's going to be hard for you to see a high quality man in front of you when they present themselves. There are some amazing, like I meet them every week, amazing, phenomenal guys out there. If you're not looking at the world that way, though, you're just not going to see that. And this actually is extremely relevant to my relationship with Ahmed, because during the first several months, I was trying to see everything wrong with him. And of course, there's things wrong with every person. So I was magnetizing, like when I tell you magnetizing the tiny little things that were wrong, but more importantly, like I was creating stories of things that could go wrong down the line that weren't even there yet. And I would put myself through so much anxiety and second guessing because I was terrified to see him for who he was, which was an amazing, awesome man that is like, honestly, like the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing that has ever happened to me is this person. And I was trying to sabotage it. And I was trying to disprove what I was being shown. I didn't want to believe what he was showing me. Relationship has just completely transformed as a result of me just seeing what was in front of me. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated by a future him. Model the level of self-respect, the level of dignity, the level of self-love. Like, model all of that through your behaviors to yourself. This sounds very obvious. If you have an abusive person, they're just going to be abusive. Like, I don't know what to tell you. No matter how much you respect yourself, the only way to truly respect yourself in the presence of an abusive partner is by breaking up with them and cutting ties. So that is the way that you model the way that you deserve to be loved, is by letting that person know they were never going to be with you. They can't hold space with you because they are not capable of treating you with the respect that you know and that you show yourself. Now, we've ruled those people out. For the people who are in front of you, who are capable of that, we'll take Ahmed again for an example. If I constantly broke my promises to myself, if I never took care of myself, if I spoke to myself in any kind of way, if I allowed for other people in my life to speak to me any kind of way, even a good, amazing person and good, amazing partner is going to just model the way to treat you off of how you're allowing other people to treat you and off of how you treat yourself. So if you want to have the quickest transformation around attracting the right energy and love and treatment, whether it's from your family or a future partner, focus on how you treat yourself. When you wake up, do you make your bed? Do you take the time to look good, whatever that means? I don't mean makeup. I don't mean you have to go get your hair done or do your hair. I just mean take the extra minute to wash your face, to brush your teeth, like take care of your hygiene, to just be intentional about how you feel about yourself. Do you drink water and just signal to your body that you're pouring into it? Literally, it's the smallest things. Do you have good posture? This is something that immediately impacts my mood, is when I'm walking and if I feel a little low or insecure, the first thing I do is just pull my shoulders back. Firstly, because my grandma used to cuss me out so much about my posture growing up, but it definitely elevates my self-worth and my self-esteem. And it reminds me, you are someone worthy of standing tall. You will literally, through your body and through the way you take care of your body, be modeling to other people how this body, how this person deserves to be treated. You'll be modeling the standard of treatment that you require. And you will be signaling to that person that anything less than this just will not fly with me. Are there things that you do that signal that you are trash? And I don't even use these words, so I'm just using your words with you. Based on what trash means to you, like, are you like trashing your body? Are you trashing yourself through your self-talk? Like when you talk about yourself or when you are thinking about yourself and looking in the mirror, are the words that you use to describe yourself trashy words? Set those boundaries between you and yourself. Then those boundaries will definitely play out between the people who are already closest to you. And once you have that, once you have a healthy level of self-respect and self-love and dignity between you and yourself, between you and the people surrounding you, anyone who comes in will just automatically get with the program. And something even more magical that happens is when those boundaries are strong, you won't attract people who don't know how to uphold them. You're attracting trash people because they feel like they can come inside and trash the place because you don't have rules. You're not fining them if they don't take the garbage out. You're not kicking them out if they don't pay their rent on time. There's no actual ramifications to their trashy behavior. So they love you. They want to come and really be a part of that situation that is very lenient on them. Get some boundaries in check between you and yourself, between you and the people surrounding you. That way people know that if they have trashy behaviors, you're not the one for them, because you're not going to allow for them to just do whatever, be whatever, and say whatever. I'm all about accountability. I'm all about empowerment. I want you to have your power. I don't want to keep empowering these men by calling them trash men and just sitting in this narrative where you're a victim and they're a villain. Like, that's dead. Like, can we just kill that? You are not a victim. You are not a victim. If you keep telling yourself that you're just constantly in these patterns, then you're just going to keep repeating those patterns. You're not going to open yourself up to see anything but that story, because that is the story that you've invested in. That is the identity that you've built yourself around, is this just poor damsel in distress who can't find someone who treats her well. You need to write another narrative. And the only way to write another narrative is to open yourself up to seeing things a little differently than how you've been seeing them. I love you so much.